Forget everything you think you know about confidence. You know, being the loudest person in the room, constantly proving your worth. What if I told you that's all wrong? Today, we're going to dive into a totally different kind of power. It's quieter, it's steadier, and frankly, it's way more powerful. The source of our explainer calls it dangerous confidence.
So what is dangerous confidence? Well, think of it this way. It's not about performance. It's all about presence. It's that calm, certain energy that makes people lean in, not because you're shouting, but because you command respect just by being there. It's a state where nothing can shake you, nothing provokes you, and because of that, nothing controls you. And just look at the difference here. Regular confidence, it's often loud, it's needy, it's always looking for someone else's approval, it's constantly reacting. But dangerous confidence, it's calm. It doesn't need anything from the outside because its foundation is solid on the inside. It doesn't react to what's happening, it leads. It sets the tone. So here's our roadmap. We're going to redefine what confidence even means, build it from the inside out, see how it shows up in the real world, and then forge that untouchable mindset. Finally, we'll talk about your path to power. Let's get into it. First things first, we have to get our own house in order. The source is super clear about this. Real confidence is an inside job, and it all, and I mean all, starts with self-respect. This right here is everything because, confidence without self-respect is just an act. It's a fragile mask waiting to crack. Real, deep power comes from those small, daily promises you keep to yourself. From setting boundaries, it's about building trust with the one person who matters most, you. You have to respect yourself long before anyone else will. And that respect really begins with the conversation you're having in your own head 24/7. So how do you talk to yourself when no one's listening? Is that voice your biggest cheerleader or your worst critic? Because I promise you, how you talk to yourself in private eventually leaks out in public. That inner voice sets the tone for your entire life. So how do we actually master it? Well, the source gives us a really simple 3-step process. First, just start noticing it. Just catch yourself when that negative voice pops up. Second, you reframe it. And this isn't about fake positivity, okay? It's about strength. So instead of, I can't do this, you say, this is tough, but I am capable of figuring it out. And third, you repeat powerful affirmations every single day to literally retrain your brain. Okay, so once you start building that solid internal foundation, how does it actually show up on the outside? Because when you truly respect yourself, believe me, it starts to show in everything you do and say. Just think about this for a second. Every single time you over-explain or justify yourself, you're sending a hidden message that says, I really need your approval to feel valid. Your words can either build up your authority or drain it completely. And here's how we reclaim that power. First, just stop explaining yourself. No is a complete sentence. Second, speak less. When you do, your words carry so much more weight. Third, learn to use silence as a shield. When someone is trying to provoke you and you just give them calm silence, they totally lose control of the situation. And finally, it all comes down to this. You choose to respond. You don't just mindlessly react. But you know what? Before you even say a single word, your body is already screaming a message. The source makes a great point. If your words say one thing and your body says another, people will always believe your body. So let your body do the talking first. I mean, just look at the difference here. On the left, you've got all the little things that give our power away. Slouching, fidgeting, looking away. But on the right, that's presence. Standing tall, holding calm eye contact, moving with purpose. These aren't just things you're acting out. They're signals you're sending to your own brain that you are in control and you belong here. All right, now we get to the master level. This is about building a mindset that is so solid, so strong, that nothing from the outside world can shake it. This is about becoming truly resilient. This is the core philosophy right here. Now, it doesn't mean you don't want things. Of course you want success, relationships, all of it. It just means you aren't dependent on them for your sense of self. Your peace, your identity, your worth, it's all generated internally. And if you make it, no one else can take it away. See, when you're attached to a specific outcome, that just creates fear and anxiety. It makes your self-worth incredibly fragile. But when you detach, that's where you find freedom. You just focus on what you can actually control, your effort, and you let the results be what they are. And the crazy part is, That calm focus usually leads to way better results anyway.
Oh man, this is a huge reframe. Most of us see rejection as this final judgment on our worth, right? But people with dangerous confidence, they see it as data, as feedback. Every no is just a sharpening stone. It shows you where you need to improve, and it builds your resilience. It's just proof that you're actually in the game, not sitting on the sidelines. So, after all that, the internal work, the external expression, this untouchable mindset, what does it all really boil down to? What's the one key that unlocks all of this power? Well, it comes down to a single number. And this number is the ultimate source of all your control and all your power. 0. That's it. The ultimate form of power is choosing not to react. When you stop reacting to criticism, to chaos, to what other people think, you stop giving away your energy. You become the leader of your own life, not just a follower of your circumstances. You become untouchable.
But it's not just about being a couch potato. Think of it like this. Laziness is this super clever negotiator. It's sneaky. It disguises itself as taking a break or doing productive but unimportant tasks. It will always have a perfectly logical-sounding reason for you to put off what actually matters, and it will steal your future one tiny excuse at a time.
And look at this. This just nails that internal tug of war, right? On the left, that's the voice of negotiation. It sounds reasonable, doesn't it? But on the right, that's the voice of discipline. Notice the difference? It's not a conversation. It's a command. It's decisive, it's final, and it shuts down the negotiation before it even gets a word in.
And this is where it gets serious. You know those little thoughts? I'll do it tomorrow. I'm just too tired right now. We brush them off, right? Harmless. But what we're looking at here is the idea that they're not just thoughts, they're chains. Every single time you give in to one, you're adding another link, strengthening that habit of surrender, and making it that much harder to break free the next time. Okay, so how do you actually break these chains? It's not magic, it's a three-step process. Step 1 is just awareness. You've got to catch that negative thought the second it pops into your head. Step 2, you can't just ignore it. You have to actively replace it with a strong, constructive command. And finally, step 3, you've got to control your environment. Limit the negative stuff you're feeding your brain, the content, the conversations, so you stop giving those excuses fertile ground to grow.
Seriously, just think about this for a second. How many times has that happened to you? You had a great idea, but you waited. You felt that urge to get started on something, but you told yourself, later. That pause, that moment of hesitation, that's exactly where discipline goes to die and where regret is born.
So to fight that hesitation, there's this awesome, super simple tool. The moment you even think of something you should do, don't give your brain a chance to argue. You just start counting down. 3, 2, 1, move. And on move, you physically get up, you act. It's like you're short-circuiting that part of your brain that wants to talk you out of it.
And here's why that immediate action is such a game changer. See, every time you act instantly, even on something tiny, you're training that action muscle. You're building trust in yourself. But big plans that you keep delaying, they do the exact opposite. They train your hesitation muscle. The key takeaway here is that consistency built on all those little immediate actions is way more powerful than these rare bursts of intense effort.